Hi there, it's Sandy, your sister and your friend. Welcome to today's video. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about how to get unstuck. There are a lot of things in this world that we have been conditioned to believe since we were little kids, or that we learned, a teacher may have said something to us when we were in school, and we held on to these things that we were told that were negative about us in some way. And then those thoughts that really weren't even our thoughts, they became embedded in our minds, and we formulated a whole mindset around those beliefs, because those thoughts then, when we believe them, when we hold on to them long enough, they become beliefs. And then we see, or we act out those beliefs in this world, in this life that we have in this world. And a lot of times those are not things that we actually want in our life. Now, the way that they may materialize, it might come about that we have a disease, that we are prone to injury, that we don't have enough money or other things that we need in our lives, that we don't have the relationships that we want. Maybe we don't have the kind of career that we want. So maybe someone told us something that we weren't smart enough, we weren't clever enough, we weren't good enough, and we formed a whole psyche and a whole personality around those ideas. And those ideas, when they become beliefs, those beliefs, we keep holding on to them, perhaps because we are afraid of testing them to see if they're actually, it's knowing the devil that we know as opposed to the devil that we don't know. We don't really want to put it to the test and maybe prove that this other person was right about us. But when we are ready to put those things to the test, when we're ready to say, this life isn't turning out the way I want it to, I am not happy all the time, I'm not feeling the joy that I think that I want to feel. And I think I was created to be joyful and happy and to feel successful in this life. And that's not what's happening to me right now. So we have to be willing to look at things differently. We have to be at a place in our lives, and maybe we've just hit rock bottom. Sometimes it takes that for us to get sick and tired of being sick and tired, or just tired of being, living a life that we don't really want, that we don't see our dreams being fulfilled. So when that happens, what I'm calling that is feeling stuck. We feel like we are in a place, we can't move, we just feel like we can't move out of this place. But there is a way to do this. There is a way, and what I have found, again, this is my journey, this is what I have experienced in my life, and I'm just sharing this with you. So this is what I have found that really helps me to get unstuck. That is for me to think about the things, in whatever venue of my life this happens to fall within. Say it's my relationships. And I would like to have more friends in my life. I would like to have more people that I can engage with on a deeper level and who really care about me and that I can care about. So, and that's not my experience right now. Maybe I was told at some point I'm not a very good friend. And that's what I've been believing all this time. So it's a two-part process. First of all, it's to think about, what would my life look like if I didn't believe that this was true about myself? what would my life look like? And you might say, I don't know. How would I um, say something concrete about having friends? You might not know, how many friends you would have or what interests that you would share with them, but you might, because maybe you love to play pickleball or tennis, or you love to go to the gym, or you have some kind of an interest, a book club perhaps. So you have an interest that you would like to have friends who share the interests that you already have. So I would picture that. I would picture myself being a part of this group, and being, I would picture being in these group activities together, and that we're all laughing and we're having a good time together. And so I would write that down. I would write down what that group experience looks like. If it has to do with a job, and maybe I'm saying, I have this job right now, I feel stuck in this job, or I don't even have a job right now, but I want a job, but I don't really want a job. I want a whole change of career. I want it to look really different from what I'm doing today in my life. So and even if I can't write down what that career looks like, I would certainly I would frame it in a way that I would be able to identify it when it starts to appear in my life. That I would be able to use my creativity. I would find like-minded people in this job situation. I would find someone there who was interested in mentoring me, and who I felt really connected to, who I could benefit from, or somebody that I could mentor, because I'm really skilled in this particular occupation. So I would write that down. And then in the next column, first of all, I would give some thought to, now let me picture that I've actually had this career path, or I've had this group of friends for 5 years. So this has actually been my reality for 5 years. Now think about and open yourself up to, how do I feel after I have had this experience for 5 years? How much expanded my life feels like it is to me, how much my heart is expanded, how I have actually enjoyed, the enjoyment level in my life has gone up so exponentially. And if it's related to the job, how I'm being rewarded for what I bring to this career. My company values me, and they reward me appropriately. I've gotten rewards, I've gotten awards, I bring in business, which is appreciated. I have thought about ways to do things that are outside the box, that my bosses love, because I bring such a level of creativity and innovation to this career that I'm now in. So think about all the feelings and the emotions that you have related to the thing that you now have identified that you want. And now you start feeling, even as I talk about that, I start feeling my heart feels open and joyful. And I'm sure if this is for your life, you would feel so much joy of knowing all these things are happening around you and in you, and your life is so much bigger than you ever thought that it could be. And maybe this is where you meet your soulmate, or a dear friend that you're going to have for the rest of your life. So I would write those things down too. And I would now, every single day, or even during the day, many times during the day, if I'm feeling a little bit like don't have that as my mindset, this career path, this group of friends, and feeling the feelings, I would just keep going back and reading that, and I would start feeling those feelings again. And I'm telling you, what happens is that your brain doesn't know whether this is an actual experience or whether it's an imaginary experience. And that's really beautiful, because now you are imagining this wonderful part of your life, and as you're doing this in the here and now, in this present moment, you're actually living out this career path. Maybe you don't know what it is, you haven't decided or identified what it looks like, because now you're open to the universe, to divine energy bringing this to you in a way maybe that you hadn't seen before. You didn't even know it was possible. So now this is coming to you organically, because you're open to saying, wow, I'm going to have this group of friends, I'm going to have this career that I didn't even identify as the means. The mechanism isn't up to us, because what happens, I think, that when we have this picture of what it's going to look like, and we start feeling the emotions of what it's going to feel like, that's the level now we're vibrating at. We're not at this lower level of being dejected and despondent and thinking that things aren't going to work out they're not working out for us. No, we've brought ourselves up to this level of vibration that the universe is going to match. But it's all in the here and now. Everything is we don't have the past and we don't have the future. So what we have is right now, and we use the moment that we're in. And this is how we get unstuck. You can actually sense as I'm talking, because I can sense it, and I know that you must be also, of getting unstuck, of knowing that if I can think of a possibility, that possibility exists in the universe. All things are possible with God. So if I can think of it, it exists out there, and I have created the environment in my mind to match it. That's it. I've changed my mind to match what it is that I want to bring. The life that I want to experience, I've just brought it in. You're welcome, Sandy. You're welcome. So I think it's really that mechanism, which is really just, it's the same as what God says for us to pray. And he says, don't pray, don't come as a beggar. You just pray and surround yourself with the feeling of having it. He says, you don't have because you don't ask. So let's just ask for what seems, maybe it seems impossible, I don't know, but if it is, it's because we've conditioned, our minds have been conditioned to think of it as impossible. If we can think it, it's possible. It just is. So that's how I get unstuck. I write it down, I look at it, I read it when I've forgotten about it, and I just keep going back to feeling those feelings. And that's all we have to do. Maybe there's something more to it for you. If there is, let me know. I would love to hear that. So I think this is how we solve the problems. And we solve our own problems, and we solve the problems of the world. Because the only problem is that we are stuck in an old mindset that's not serving us. So try it out. Let me know how it works. I love you so much. Subscribe if you haven't. Hit the like button. I love you so much. God bless you. Bye-bye.